What are the Daniel, what the dang, God Daniel. Oh, what the dang. Well, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. My brother, my sister. Now here in the Black Pot, we normally would not criticize, but if we must criticize, we'd only just criticize to build and not to destroy. This is in the service of God and country. It's all about our people, our continent, our land. And my brother, my sister, I would like us to look at some very interesting things today. Yes, very, very interesting things. My brother, my sister, we are in a beautiful country called Ghana. And this country has been messed up by politicians. In the interim, this is where we speak truth to power. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo. And I will need us to open our ears and eyes and listen with rapt attention. My brother, my sister, my very first story is taken from my own treenews.com, the most authentic source of news online. It says, defective in logic and betrayal of your own criteria and elementary English. Sami Jemfi fires back at EC. And I read, the National Communication Officer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Sami Jemfi, has responded to the Electoral Commission, Ghana, that's the EC, on an explanation given regarding the eligibility of a candidate to contest elections without being registered in a constituency. The EC has schooled Sami Jemfi on the letter of the 1992 Constitution and the import of the nomination form, citing how the NDC fielded a candidate in the latest by-election, though he was not registered in the Kumewu constituency. Was Sami Jemfi not aware of this phrase, of the same constituency, on the nomination form before allowing their candidate for Kumewu by-election, who is not a registered voter in Kumewu, to contest for the recent by-election? I take it again. Was Sami Jemfi not aware of this phrase, of the same constituency, on the nomination form before allowing their candidate for the Kumewu by-election, who is not a registered voter in Kumewu, to contest for the recent by-election? It asks the NDC national officer to exercise maturity, decorum, and truth in his discussions on the EC. We urge him to go out and campaign and leave the EC alone. But in a sharp response, Mr. Jemfi said the EC's claims in the statement on Tuesday, June 6, are defective in logic and betray the Commission's appreciation of their own criteria and elementary English language. It should be obvious to any educated mind that the phrase of the same constituency contained at part 1 of the EC's own nomination form for the Asi North by-election refers to the candidate who is being nominated, that's proposed, seconded, and endorsed, and not the nominees. He said the Jean Mensa-led administration has allowed palpable bias to shroud its sense of judgment and interpretation of the basic regulations. Wow. Now, Sami Jemfi is a young man that I very much admire. Apart from the fact that he has in-depth knowledge, he is somebody who has a strong passion for politics. And when I see him articulate his views, sometimes I am blown away. This is somebody who allows himself to research. He is somebody who is very confident when he speaks. And when he is wrong, he is quick enough to return and say, listen, I erred. I am sorry. And you would hardly hear him err. You would hardly hear him make mistakes. This is a man, my brother, my sister, that the other side of the political divide is praying that it would have. Kennedy Japan has said time and again that if he had a way of getting Sami Jemfi to cross carpets from the NDC into the NPP, he would willingly love to take that chance no matter what it will cost. It tells you what a gem this young man is. Today I'm not going to go into his fight with the EC. I will find a better day and deal with that. But I want to look at the response of the EC, Electoral Commission. Listen to what he says. He says, and I read, and I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. The EC wrote, we expect him to exercise maturity, decorum, and truth in his discussions on the EC. We urge him to go out and campaign and leave the EC alone. This is a joke. Can you believe the EC wrote this? Can you believe that a state outfit wrote this junk? For me, it looks like junkies writing. Can you believe this? The EC that is paid with the taxpayers' money. The EC that is supposed to be most neutral. The EC that is supposed to be most objective. This is the communication it is bringing out. Elementary and childish, and is an affront to decency and decorum. The same thing they are asking Sami Jemfi to abide by. How many people understand what I'm saying? May I go deeper? Watch me. Listen. We urge him to go out and campaign and leave the EC alone. My brother, this looks like a political party that is talking to another political party. Can you believe this is an official message from the EC? Who is the head of this EC? Do they have a proper PRO at all? Or it is the same half-baked PRO that we have, like the one from the Ghana army? Do you remember when a soldier man was killed in a Shaiman? And how the PRO, half-baked, I'm surprised it's still at post. Ghana, we love to put square pegs in round holes. We speak truth to power. Nobody is bigger than the truth. The army PRO, Ghana Army, Ghana Armed Forces, PRO, wrote that the people of Ashaiman were constantly calling the army, the Ghana Armed Forces, to return to Ashaiman and beat people, because the first time they went there to beat innocent people, there was a certain kind of peace and decorum in the area. Can you believe that a human being with all his senses working will talk like this? Unconstitutionally, junglistic. That's all I can define this. Junglistically, you went all the way into Ashaiman, beat up innocent people in the name of a soldier man who had been killed. Of course, that is very terrible. We don't like it. We hate it. We want to see people brought to justice. You went hook, line, and sinker, pomp and pageantry, and started hovering around the whole of Ashaiman with your outlandish, what is it called? Helicopter. And you descended on the people, innocent people, beating them night and day. The same people who are paying you with their tax. At the end of the day, the police went in with police intelligence and pulled out people, and none of them was part of those soldier people who went to Ashaiman to beat. And all the PRO could tell us was that Ashaiman people really thanked them for coming to beat them up in the 21st century. And the PRO is still at post. Can you believe this? The taxpayer is still paying him. And when we talk They say keep quiet because they have the guns. They can shoot us anytime. It's better to speak the truth and be short than to tell lies and live long. Hallelujah. This is the same joke coming from the EC. It is so nauseous, so nauseating, so sickening. In fact, I'm suffering from palpitations right now. I'm suffering from jaundice. Reading this from the EC. We urge Sammy Jemfi, that's him, to go out and campaign and leave the EC alone. Is this a love letter? Did you learn how to write formal letters when you were in secondary school? Did you learn how to write personal letters? This is supposed to be coming from the communication team of the EC. We are in trouble. Listen to the kind of language. Gibberish. Elementary. This is so sickening. EC, bow down your heads in shame. What kind of communique is this? Now I understand why Mahama and his people do not have any belief and trust in the EC. If this will come out from people who call themselves graduates, people who are ready to flash their certificates. Anyway, these days people write theses for so many different people. When you go online, people are advertising. They can even write a PhD for you. In these days, people go to the university. They don't even sit in the class for one day. And they come out with degrees. Proper degrees. Yet they are useless. I am so sick of this communique. Sammy Jemfi, I want to salute you. And I want to say that you have a very bright future if you continue in this stead. Just make sure that arrogance does not seek into your head. In fact, you are a thorn in the flesh of all these half-baked politicians, half-baked officials. EC, shame on you. Shame. He should go and campaign. Go and campaign and leave the EC alone. He sounds like a love letter. Kojo, please don't come to my house again. We are broken apart. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. I say leave me alone. That is the undertone that I get from the EC's dirty love letter. Get out of here. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it has something to do with sports. This is from Tony Yeboah. Just yesterday we were talking about Tony Yeboah. I don't follow Ghana football. Everybody knows he's dead. Oh, Jesus. This is Tony Yeboah speaking. He says he doesn't follow Ghana football because everybody knows that Ghana football is dead. I am so shocked that this is coming from a legend. Somebody who can be called a football legend. I've always loved Tony Yeboah. The man with the bullet shot. The man, the first man to wear white boots in the Black Stars when every other person was wearing black. He was flown all the way from Germany in a private jet to come and play for the Black Stars at Ziguinchor. How many people remember this? Tony Yeboah, my God, he could fire the ball even from the center. Bam! All the way into the net. Yagola, the king of goals. His specialty was in goal scoring. In fact, today I am shocked that I'm reading this. But let me let you into it so you will understand exactly what we're talking about. He says, former Black Star striker Tony Yeboah has stated that Ghana football is dead and is common knowledge. Yeboah, speaking with Peace FM, said he has no idea about what is happening in the country regarding football because he does not keep up with it. He said that the deterrent state of football in the country is a form of punishment after the leaders failed to heed advice. I don't know what is going on because I don't follow. Everyone knows Ghana football is dead because they didn't listen to the advice we gave them from the beginning. So I think they are currently facing the punishment. If you involve bribes and stuff like that in football, you will destroy the game. Hear me now. Tony Yeboah should know that it's Ghana football that made him dead as it is today. How did it work in the days that it was not dead? It was ready to give you life. It gave your football career life and took you all the way outside the shores of this country. You went out there. You excelled in your football career. Today you are a retired footballer. At least you have a bank account that is not dry. Give thanks. You see, what na ya reforma konfopa betuno yan yenum. Hey, I am shocked. You see, in the days of Tony Yeboah's football, he was a man who had issues with Abedi Pele. In fact, the two of them had their own issues, to the point that they both resigned from the Ghana football at the time. It took Jerry John Rawlings to invite them over to the so-called castle, a slave dungeon that Ghanaians call castle, and sat down with them to beg them to rescind their decision and return to play. In the days, it was touted that Abedi Pele was more loyal to Ghana. In other words, patriotic in the playing of the football. Whilst Tony Yeboah was most of the time thinking about the big money that he had to get or lose if he came to Ghana, because he was at the prime of his career. And leaving the football in Germany, football made in Germany, to come and play for the Black Stars, he was earning less. So whilst he was on the field, there were cartoons in those days that showed him thinking about the money in Germany. And Abedi Pele thinking about the cap. That's the laurel, the cap for Ghana. Today, when I look at some of these thoughts, I am sad for Tony Yeboah. I've always loved him. I know that he was not as patriotic as he should have been for the country. I do not have a gauge. I do not have a ruler or a scale to measure his level of patriotism. But I can tell you without doubt that he didn't give his 100% to Ghana football even in his heydays. How many people know Tony Yeboah from when he played for the Black Stars? Can you say what I'm saying is a lie? Remember when he came, kicking the ball almost everywhere, insulting referees because he wanted to be shown a red card, so he would quickly go back to Germany and go and play and earn his money. This is when you force a man to come and play for the Black Star, or you beg him and he sees that he's losing money in Germany. There is no patriotism. This is one of the things. The dead Ghana football that was able to give you life. Today, you say you don't even follow it. You are so selfish. You are not even able to say, okay, Ghana football is dead. We are going to resurrect it. Why did it die? You are saying that you advised the people and they did not listen. So have you thrown your hands in the air in despair? You've given up? So which one do you follow now? German football? Oh no. It's the same way as saying, oh, Ghana has failed. For that matter, you have decided not to even be part of Ghana. You are a German citizen, a British citizen. Where is your patriotism? Tony Yeboah should be the last person to be talking about Ghana football being dead. Of course, there's bribery. Where is there no bribery around the world when it comes to football? Where is there no foolishness when it comes to football around the world? So if you go out there and say, the Ghana football is dead, so who cares? Don't follow. Don't follow. If your workers start to say, your workers at Yagola, that, oh, Yagola is dead, and for that matter, they have also thrown their hands in the air in despair, how are you going to feel? You truly want them to sit back with a dead Yagola, sit with Yagola, bring back Yagola, and make sure Yagola works again. True? Don't do that, please. Don't do that. If you cannot help Ghana stand on its feet, don't bury it deeper. Please leave the country alone. I'll leave it here. My name is Black Rasta, Eric Mawuena, Egbeta.